when would we take the second cheapest edge? Remember the algorithm, remember the forest. Okay, let me ask a different question. When would we reject the second cheapest edge? Only if it created a cycle. So let's say the first edge connects A to B. So give me an example of the second edge that creates a cycle. No, you can't have two edges. You're only going to have one edge, right? But that's a good guess. But A to B is B to A because it's undirected, right? So therefore, actually we can't create a cycle. So now Crutch's algorithm will take the cheapest edge. It will also take the next cheapest edge. So since it's doing that, that means it's going to create either AB into ABC, into three edges, or AB and CD. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So, in case we bring in the first two edges into the same tree, so we have A to B to C. Under what circumstances would we take the third cheapest edge? Third cheapest edge. Because basically the only thing that can happen in Crutch's algorithm, was my algorithm for finding a marker. Random selection, Monte Carlo method. Okay, here we go. So we have, after one, it's going to look like this, and then we have a bunch of individuals, right? That's taking the cheapest edge. That's just what it's going to be. So it's a single tree, goes into a single tree. Now, the second cheapest edge, it's either going to connect a third component, unify these two, or it's going to do this. It's going to unify two other components. That's the only possibilities. So you're either going to go into 1, 2, 3 with a bunch of singles, or you're going to go 1, 2, a different 1, 2, and a bunch of singles. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
So would you agree that you always take the second cheapest edge? Yes. Okay, now I want to know about the third cheapest edge. I want to know when to stop. So now we're going to the third cheapest edge. If that edge is going to connect the vertex to this, would we always take it?
Yeah.
But we might not take it if what? If it connects here to here, that's when we reject it. We would reject the one that connects this one to this one. How about in this case? We would always take the third cheapest edge in this case. Because there's no way of making a cycle. Because the worst you're going to do is you're going to have a 3, but you can't have a cycle unless you have 3. You see what I'm saying? So I make you think a little bit. Going back to the other question. Would we, under any circumstances, ever take the most expensive edge?
Yes,
Okay. Edward, and when would that happen?
at least when it's connecting one node from a course. It's the only edge that.
Okay, so that's, you hear his answer? Very good answer. You hear his answer? So, we would take a very expensive edge, even though it's at the very, very end, because it happened to be the only edge, for example, that connected a node. The only way you can get to this node is through this expensive edge. Gotta take it. Okay. So just interesting idea. Now, our time is running out. Let me tell you what we're going to be moving ahead with graphs on Wednesday. We're going to wrap them up pretty quickly. I'm going to be looking at a couple of different algorithms. The first algorithm will be called the shortest path algorithm, and the next algorithm will be called the least expensive path, least cost path. Shortest algorithm assumes that every edge has the same cost. So if the cost of every edge is 1, then to go from A to B, if I can do it in 3 edges, that's better than doing it in 5 edges. Because 3 is less than 5, and the cost of 5 is greater than 3, so 3 is better. Okay, so we're going to look at doing that. And can you imagine how we're going to do that? How we're going to do the shortest path? It's built on something we already know. Which of our traversals would lead us to the shortest path? The answer is breadth first. Because breadth first, we visit every node as soon as possible, closest to us. So if we, in breadth first search, start at A, if we don't get to W, or let's say call it Z, until 4 steps away, that means we couldn't visit it any earlier. So that means the first time we visit it, that's the shortest path. So we will modify the breadth first traversal to get the shortest path. Now the least cost path is different because the least cost path means I want the least cost, but now the edges are weighted. And I may find that I can go from A to Z by going A, B for a cost of 5, and B to Z with a cost of 10 or 15. But I may find that I can go from A to P to Q to R with a cost of 3, and a cost to Z with a cost of 1 to 4. That's less cost. So it's a longer path, but a smaller cost. So we're going to look at that type of algorithm as well, how to get a least cost path. There's a few important algorithms. One of them is by Dijkstra, one of the fathers of computer science. His name pops up everywhere. Software engineering, programming, algorithms. But we're not going to actually look at that. I can show you Dijkstra's algorithm, but we're going to look at another algorithm which I think is slightly simpler, but it has the same type of solution. I also have Dijkstra's in the notes. So we're going to look at those 2 algorithms next time, and then we'll handle other stuff. Okay, homework, it's not out yet, right? Homework number